Would you like to learn what is my cash out strategy for quarter 4, quarter 1, 2021-2022? I am looking to go 95% into stablecoins after this bull run. Why? Because the cryptocurrency market is cyclical and I am looking to make the best gains before everything starts crumbling. My name is the Suppoman, your superhero of 100x gems. If you love content like this, make sure you smash a like on this video. You subscribe to Team Suppo. A lot of you have still not subscribed despite watching my videos. So if you subscribe, make sure that you say to me, I am new and have subscribed and I will respond to you. And it's only me responding to you if there is a grey border around my username. All those people saying WhatsApp me are scammers. Do not fall for it. I'll never WhatsApp you. And hit the bell notification, because timing is paramount. The cryptocurrency market is a cyclical market. You have your peaks, you have your bottoms. The time to sell is at the peak. The time to buy is at the bottom and scaling up as the market recovers. And then as you get into advantageous positions on cryptocurrencies that have great gains potential, you start to exit out because the market is going to come tumbling. Now, Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market have had their cycles of peaks and bottoms. In the stock to flow chart, this white line is where the price is expected to be, and this multicolored line shows where the price actually goes. And you can see that there are times where the actual price goes way above the mean. And there are times when the price goes way below the mean. That typically signals the times to exit and the times to re-enter. And we have had 3 of these cycles in cryptocurrency. We had one in 2011, one in 2013, one in 2017, and I personally believe there's going to be another one at the end of 2021 and or the beginning of 2022. Now, from the last 3 market cycles, they topped out around about November, December time. So in 2013, it was the 1st to the 5th of December. In 2017, it was between the 14th and the 17th of December. This year, it could be late December, early January time. Why? Because there is going to be some decisions made on Bitcoin ETFs. The time to sell would not be now. There has been 1 ETF approved, but there's going to be 4 more ETFs, allowing for those that trade on Wall Street to be able to have exposure to cryptocurrency. And the last of which is expected on December the 24th. The Bitcoin bull market and Euphoria topped out on December the 17th, 2017, as a result of the CME and CBOE futures exchanges launching Bitcoin futures. And I do anticipate a very, very similar fate for Bitcoin when the last of the Bitcoin ETFs are launched. These are considered to be the key ones. And this does nicely correspond with a December to early January top. Now, why else do I think the market is going to top out at the end of this year, beginning of next year? Because I think 2022 is where we are going to see the brunt of a global recession that affects the housing market, the stock market, and the crypto market. And this is going to be as a result of the stimulus checks that were given out as a result of the pandemic. It basically propped up the markets. It kicked the can down the road. A recession was supposed to come earlier. However, it has essentially been postponed as a result of these stimulus checks. Now, I personally think that because of that boom created by the stimulus is going to result in a bust and a crash. Let me give you a very equivalent graph to what we see these days on Bitcoin. When the market recovered in the Bitcoin market of 2013, what happened is very similar to what happened this year, is we had a rush between February and April, with a topping out in April, pretty much exactly like what we had this year. And then what we had was the price retrace dramatically. Bitcoin achieved its all-time high of $30, and then it had its warm-up, which was $266. It nearly 10x'd. Now, it was a much smaller market back then. With critical mass, it was much easier for Bitcoin to explode from the single-figure dollars there used to be. Now, once it crashed, there was this trend line that supported or propped up the price and gave it a foundation that it didn't fall below. And this held it until the price ran away from this trend line, which happened between October and December, early December. That was where Bitcoin went from around about $115 to $1,200. That's another 10x. And then what happened was that you had this trend line here, which acted as the support and resistance. So initially it was the support. After the price ran away, and this was where the euphoria happened and the mass hysteria, this support line ended up saving the price going from $1,200 down to $600. Went up a little bit more to $1,000 before it fell through that support and then was resistance. And once it became resistance, about the $1,000 mark, Bitcoin then went into a bull market for a period of 2 years, all the way until the latter stages of 2015, which is where it was warming up to the bull market in 2017. So with this in mind, I am now going to extrapolate what happened in 2013 to what is happening right now. So we had that warm-up stage earlier this year, and it topped in mid-April, the exact point it happened in 2013. And then we had this trend line which acted as support, and it propped up the price up until the point that an ETF was almost on the cards, and then the price went from 40,000 to 66,000. Now, what is going to happen from here? This is what I think is going to happen. We've got this support line very similar to the support line here, okay? The support line that's going to act as support and then subsequently resistance, in my personal opinion. So that support line is what's going to prop up the price acceleration towards the end of the year. So I think that we are going to see the price going up towards 80,000 next month. And then I think December is where we're going to see the big month. The top would actually be on around about the 25th. This would be Christmas Day. The top would be the day after the last Bitcoin ETF approval date. And this could be extended over the first part of 2022. But this is what I personally think is going to happen. We are going to see Bitcoin going to 180 to 200,000 at best. And then after the ETFs have been officially approved, which I think is probably going to happen, we could be seeing a dump. We could be seeing the price going from late 100,000s to the early 200,000s, and then going up and then down, dropping below that support, and then it acts as resistance, and then subsequently we go into a bear market. We'll probably have the death cross, and then we'll probably see a general seller's market across the rest of 2022, 2023, until 2024. Going back to 2013, we had the warm-up top acting as the support line for the absolute worst of the bear market, and it did go below it. Hence why what I've done here is that the support line of 64,000, which is what we hit back in April, is going to act as that support once again when the market tanks. Given that that support actually puts the price roughly where we are now, buying now means that during the bear market, I don't anticipate you should be too hard off. I do think that this market could go as low, over the course of 2023, go as low as 40,000. So what we would see there is we would see a percentage drop of around about 75%, which is not as bad as it has been in previous bear markets. In 2013, we had a 86% retracement from the top to the bottom. 2017, we can see that there was an 85% drop in the Bitcoin price between the top to the bottom. So we had 86 in 2013, 85 in 2017, and I personally believe we are going to be around about 75%, because I do think that the market has achieved a kind of critical mass, a kind of global acceptance, institutional investment. I don't think it's going to drop necessarily as strong, but I do think that it is going to drop heavily, just not as heavily as before. Now, what is this green dotted line here? This is the stock to flow model and where the Bitcoin price is expected to be. So if we have a look, basically across the course of mid-2021 to May 2024, the Bitcoin price is expected to go from 100,000 to 124,000. That is basically this line here. That is the kind of 24,000 increase between 100k and 124k. And this is where I do imagine that the price is going to recover. So around about here would be where I would get back in on Bitcoin. Now, what can we expect for the altcoin market? Well, as I have told you previously, I personally expect for there to be a 2-week to 1-month window between the top of the Bitcoin market and the top of the altcoin market. So I do anticipate it is going to be around about 10th to the 15th of January to the 24th of January. That is the window if it plays out exactly as it's approximated here, which is that Bitcoin tops before the end of the year. So I do anticipate that there is going to be some fantastic exit prices. And this is my latest of what I deem to be exit prices. This is only what I anticipate to be some of the altcoins that I'm going to be cashing out. So this was a slight mistake. I did mean to put 3 zeros and then 6 to 2 zeros and 1. But everything else, I think this is how it should go. So I'm going to start ladder selling at these prices here. Because yes, you can try and time the top. You can try and sell at 200,000, but it may not reach that. It may be front run by institutions, in which case you may not be able to hit that. Therefore, I am going to be ladder selling from about 120,000 to 150,000 for Bitcoin. And then during that altcoin spike window, I anticipate Ethereum is going to achieve between 9 to 13k, ADA 9 to 11k, and this is based on previous large cap performance. Previous large caps 2 to 4x back in the last bull run. And I anticipate that as they are achieving critical mass already, they are already worth tens to hundreds of billions. So I don't think it's going to be so easy to grow the large caps, except for ADA, because ADA has so much more potential. That ecosystem is still currently growing. Smart contracts has only really just been released. So that's why I anticipate a higher multiplier for ADA than Ethereum. And subsequently, I do imagine ADA is going to overtake Ethereum, because Ethereum is just not scalable and it's upsetting people left, right and centre. As we reach Euphoria, as new investors come in, essentially they are going to see that Ethereum is riddled with problems. And so they are going to be going for alternatives. They are going to be going for ADA. They are going to be going for Solana, AVAX and Moonbeam. So therefore I imagine that the layer 1s or 1.5s that are competing with Ethereum are going to really start to grow in that altcoin season. So we also have Link. Phantom, I imagine, is going to go $10 to $13. Hashgraph is the only layer 1 infrastructure so far that hasn't yet exploited Gain's potential. And then we're going to have another layer 1, Stratos. Obviously, Pulse Chain, Hex as a result of Pulse Chain, AdaPad, etc. And I do also think that we are going to achieve a $12 trillion market cap. And where we stand at the moment is 2.6, 2.7 trillion. So I personally think that we have got at least 5x in the overall market cap. And that is why I think Bitcoin and altcoins can achieve these kinds of prices. Now, something that I definitely wanted to let you know about is about meme coins. Okay, so meme coins at this present time are really flourishing, and meme coins really tend to be the last kind of cryptocurrencies that tend to do really well. Now, this isn't signaling that we are at the altcoin top, but what this is signaling is that retail investors are starting to come in because they are wanting to get those quick and easy gains with meme coins. And meme coins are moving a lot faster than the traditional blue chip or safer investments. What we have is we have got some very short-term massive spikes happening. We can see that Zillas are going up, dog coins are coming up. So we've got variations of Flocky. Flocky is probably one of the better plays that you can make in the meme coin market. Obviously, Doge and Shiba now are quite far gone. And where the money can be made is probably in Flocky Inu, Safe Moon, possibly Kuma Inu, because Kuma Inu is reportedly created by those who created Leash, which is one of the Shiba Inu cryptocurrencies. Now, if we have a look back in 2017 at what happened with Dogecoin, Dogecoin was the only real meme coin at that present time. All right, so we saw that as the market was getting greedy and money was flowing into altcoins, it had its main acceleration towards the end of 2017, culminating in the altcoin top on January the 8th, 2018. So we are seeing that acceleration of meme coins. That is what's happening right now, okay? So this is Google Trends and looking at meme coins. Where we had meme coins really thriving this year was as we saw the top of the warm-up. So the warm-up was in April 2021, and what we had was meme coins essentially led the charge in the course of that. So we are currently, in terms of relevancy, getting up towards that 100%. We are just 15% off that. That shows the acceleration of money coming into the market and potentially new investors. We're going to see meme coins grow massively. We're probably going to see a very similar situation to what we had with Dogecoins. I personally don't like to talk about meme coins, and the reason why is because as a YouTuber that has many people watching me, I don't want to potentially burn people because these have very short life cycles. Yes, some of them do well. You know, for instance, Shiba. For every one Shiba Inu, there are 2,000 failures. And these failures, yes, they can make a 100x, they can make a 500x, but ultimately, it's not sustainable. They don't tend to last. If you get into something very, very early, hasn't pumped, maybe trendy, then you could probably ride it throughout the course of the altcoin trajectory up to the top and make some very good multipliers. However, it's too much of a gamble for me. It's very, very uncertain. It's very unpredictable. So you won't find me talk about meme coins very, very often. Euphoria stage is the ultimate signal for me. So Euphoria is when on this net unrealized profit loss graph is when the Bitcoin price color goes into blue. At this present time, we are midway through the green range. So once we actually go into violent price spikes for Bitcoin, then I do anticipate it's going to go into the blue area. Top of the blue area is not necessarily the top of Euphoria. So the top of Euphoria, if we have a look back in 2017, was actually on the 7th of December 2017. But the actual best price for Bitcoin came on the 17th. So it's typically on the way down from Euphoria. But either way, I anticipate that Euphoria is going to be hit. And it's about that time I'm going to be selling and truly cashing out the whole lot of my Bitcoin. Don't try and time the top, just try and sell towards the top. And then I imagine altcoins, I'm going to start ladder selling at these particular prices, which I anticipate is going to come in the trajectory towards the altcoin top. And then I'm going to be pretty much out of altcoins and Bitcoin at that point. People are saying it could be a different market this time. It's going to be different. The cycle isn't going to repeat. It's not going to be 2-year cycles anymore. It's going to be more like a 5-year, 7-year cycle. Bitcoin could go up over the next 5 years. And in that case, that would be great. You know, as I say, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows. That's the magic of cryptocurrency. You've got kind of two schools of thought of where the price could go. But I have got my own strategy. It's a strategy I'm going to stick within. And ultimately, it's going to be a very big money-making strategy. And it's going to just settle me for the point at which there's going to be a bottom that I can then buy again, scale up again, and then exit in the next cycle. So there we are, people. That is my cash out strategy for Q4, Q1, 2021-2022. What do you think? What is your cash out strategy? Do you agree with this analysis? Do you think it's going to play out? Let me know what you think, people. I would be keen to know. And also let me know what cryptocurrencies do you think I should talk about that are likely to make humongous gains between now and the end of the bull run. Let me know what meme coins are you most excited by between now and the end of the bull run. My name is Suppoman. You have been awesome. And I will see you next time. It is lights out, all out.